Every morning at this secondary school in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, hundreds of students gather in this courtyard to start their day with prayer. Given that it's a Seventh-day Adventist school, it's not a surprise that the curriculum involves daily worship. What is surprising is that such a small percentage of the student body is actually Adventist. Out of nearly 900 students, Adventists make up only 30%. This statistic is not seen as a vulnerability at the school, but rather a strength. In this episode of Maranatha Mission Stories, we'll see how schools are a key component of the Adventist Church's plan in Côte d'Ivoire to serve the community and share the gospel message. Côte d'Ivoire, also known as Ivory Coast, is situated on the south coast of West Africa, nestled between 5 other countries. For more than 100 years, Côte d'Ivoire was under French rule until achieving independence in the 1960s. While much has changed since then, visitors will still see the vestiges of French influence in the country in some of its architecture, food, language. French is the national language of Côte d'Ivoire. Economically, Côte d'Ivoire relies heavily on agriculture. The land is blanketed with farms and plantations. Rubber, palm trees, coconut, cassava, and coffee are all major players in the country's economy and supply most of the jobs. Yet the number one product is chocolate. Côte d'Ivoire is the leading producer and exporter of cocoa beans in the world. The relative stability of this agricultural industry attracted many from its bordering countries to immigrate to Côte d'Ivoire. Today, about 30% of the population is a diverse mix of cultures and nationalities. When it comes to religion, there is diversity, with about 40% of the population being Muslim, 33% professing Christianity, and the remaining belonging to other belief systems.
Here in Côte d'Ivoire, in general, and especially in Abidjan, you have a kind of multicultural and religion aspect. So it's a kind of a pot, it's a swimming pool where you have all kinds of people coming, and so far they have been living together with each other.
This diversity is evident at the Marcory Adventist College, a middle school in the city of Abidjan. Here, the more than 900 students who attend come from a variety of religious backgrounds, and what unites them is the quality of education.
The first years, the students were only 17. Up to now, we have more than 800. We are going towards 1,000 students a year. And this school is performing so well that even the Minister of Education, she knows that the school is here.
Sur le plan scolaire, sur le plan des résultats scolaires, nous figurons parmi l'élite parce que nous faisons de très bons résultats scolaires, reconnus par le ministère. Même les gens, les hommes les plus huppés du pays ont leurs enfants dans nos écoles.
Mouna Farez is a Lebanese immigrant living in Abidjan. When it came time to choose a high school for her kids, she chose to send them to Marcory, even though they are Muslim.
Parce que quand c'est une école religion comme ça, là, ça maintient bien l'enfant. C'est pas comme les écoles, je sais pas. Parce que vraiment, ils s'occupent bien de l'élève. Et puis, ils sont pas, comment je vais dire, et puis ils enseignent bien. L'enseignement est très bien.
Bon, ce que j'apprécie dans l'école adventiste, c'est la manière qu'eux nous forment et aussi la manière qu'ils nous conseillent, les professeurs, et la manière aussi qu'ils nous mettent dans le droit chemin.
Moi, ce que j'aime au collège adventiste, c'est la manière de nous apprendre la spiritualité et nous éduquent bien, ils nous aident à mieux comprendre la vie.
The Fares family also appreciates how understanding the school has been of their Muslim traditions. Muna recalls the time she had to ask that her daughters be allowed to wear a headscarf.
Et puis, ce que j'ai aimé aussi dans l'école, quand je devais les habiller le foulard, parce que c'est notre religion, arrivé à un certain âge, les filles doivent habiller le foulard. Je suis venue voir le directeur, il m'a dit qu'il n'y a pas de problème. Pour ça, seulement, j'ai dit, monsieur le directeur, ma fille doit habiller le foulard, c'est la religion. Et ça arrive à un moment où elle doit. Il m'a dit, oui, c'est votre religion, c'est votre plein droit d'habiller le. Et je laisse habiller le foulard, je laisse habiller tout. Et puis, ils venaient à l'école normalement. Ils n'ont jamais eu de problème pour ça.
Les professeurs, eux, ils savent que c'est les musulmans. Donc, quand il y a un problème, ils savent qu'on ne doit pas faire ça, on ne doit pas faire ça. Donc, ça va.
The girls are well integrated into the school and also attend all the worship programs. For Noor and Hayan, it's interesting to learn about Jesus.
Ça nous fait bien parce qu'on suit aussi, c'est comme aussi le Coran, donc on suit aussi.
Non, ça nous soulage parce que quand ils révisent la Bible, on apprend un peu plus sur le christianisme.
Tu as fini de faire tes exercices de maths, non?
Solange, too, is a big believer in Adventist education. She sent her oldest child to Marcory, where she saw his grades and behavior improve quickly and dramatically.
Il a eu son bac, il a été tellement bien encadré ici qu'il travaillait bien, il a eu le bac D. Il a eu le bac D en 2015 avec mention assez bien parce qu'il a très bien travaillé. Donc on lui a donné une bourse d'études. Il étudie au Maroc.
When it came to her daughter's turn to enter high school, Solange didn't look anywhere else but Marcory.
Et le ministère nous donne des papiers à remplir. On dit de choisir 3 écoles. 3 écoles. Si tu veux privé, tu choisis 3 privés. Tu veux collège moderne, tu choisis public. Non. Donc on dit 3 noms. Mais moi, je n'ai pas mis 3 noms. J'ai mis numéro 1, Adventiste. Numéro 2, Adventiste. Numéro 3, Adventiste. Parce que je ne veux pas qu'on envoie mon enfant ailleurs. Parce que j'aime l'école adventiste, vraiment. Il travaille très bien.
Solange appreciates the school so much that she admits that she'll try to come to the morning worship with her daughter. And while she is part of another Christian faith, she says she would be happy if her children decided to be baptized into the Adventist church.
Mais mon fils, demain, s'il dit demain adventiste, il n'y a pas de problème. Puisque adventiste, je les ai côtoyés, je vois qu'ils enseignent bien, et puis ils prient bien, ils se comportent bien. Non, ma fille aussi, si elle est grande, elle choisit. Une fois qu'elle a 18 ans, elle est libre de choisir. Il n'y a pas de problème.
Stories like these have been a part of Côte d'Ivoire's tradition in the Adventist Church. Education has long been a way to open doors, build relationships, and serve the community. When we come back, we'll hear about the need for more schools in Côte d'Ivoire and how Maranatha is going to get involved. The Seventh-day Adventist message first came to Côte d'Ivoire in 1920 by the way of 2 European traders from Ghana. There were some baptisms, but no sustained effort. Then, in 1946, American missionaries arrived in the country and began to establish Adventist schools.
Since right from the beginning, 1940s, 1950s, those schools have done many things, great things for the church growth in this country. Especially our secondary school in Mbouake was the only secondary school that we had. And this school was opened in 1958 by the missionaries. And these schools has trained most of the educated members that we have in the church today are from that school.
Pastor Baka says that so many people attended Mbouake school that the influence is widespread throughout Côte d'Ivoire.
And today, I said the membership is around 9,500. But when you go to the Ministry of Interior Affairs, they declare more than 40,000 because most of those who pass through the school, they are still claiming today they are as Seventh-day Adventists.
Limited resources and a period of political unrest in the country hindered development of more schools. Adventist leaders say that had they more classrooms, the potential for growth could have been greater.
Et l'école est un puissant facteur d'évangélisation. Parce que éducation et rédemption sont une seule et même chose. Là où il y a une école de 6 classes, ça fait 6 églises. Donc plus nous avons beaucoup de salles de classe, plus nous avons beaucoup plus d'églises. Et ça va booster le travail missionnaire. C'est pourquoi il est extrêmement important d'avoir beaucoup d'écoles ici en Côte d'Ivoire.
In 2020, Maranatha will begin mobilizing volunteers to Côte d'Ivoire to start an effort that includes the construction of schools and churches. To start, the projects will be focused in the greater Abidjan area, which is the largest city in the country and where the majority of the Adventist membership is based. Because of the high cost of land in the region, classrooms will be constructed on existing church properties as a way to share the land and provide mutual support. One of the school locations is in the neighborhood of Plateau d'Oqui, where there is a multicultural Adventist church.
This church is a combination of Ghanaians and Ivorians. Ghanaians are about 60 to 70%, and the rest are Ivorians. So it's a mixture of 2 countries, 2 nationalities.
Bismarck immigrated to Côte d'Ivoire 5 years ago. But like so many other Ghanaians in his church, he left his family at home. One of the main reasons is because there is no Adventist school for his children.
Most of us, our family, are now here because of the fact that we want them to benefit from an Adventist education, and as it is non-existent here, we are obliged to let them stay at home.
Esperance Huyez has a 7-year-old daughter who is currently in a private school.
Ma vision par rapport à l'école, c'est que c'est bien, l'enseignement est bien, mais beaucoup d'activités pour enfants sont organisées le jour de sabbat, les samedis. Bon, et ma fille ne pourra jamais ou bien n'assiste jamais à ces activités scolaires pour enfants.
At Plateau d'Oqui, the plan is to start a primary school on the church property. Maranatha will help by building 6 classrooms.
Yes, it is a great idea to have the school on the church premises because it is a way that we can also use to extend the word of God to the communities around.
Both Esperance and Bismarck are also confident that the local residents of Plateau d'Oqui will welcome a new school.
Je sais que la communauté, le quartier sera très content d'avoir une école et surtout les écoles conventionnelles sont beaucoup appréciées par les parents parce qu'on se dit que dans ces écoles-là, il y a d'abord l'éducation et il y a l'éducation spirituelle pour aider l'enfant à grandir. Donc il y a une formation bien soutenue qui est donnée aux enfants là. Et je crois que beaucoup des habitants, les riverains, vont envoyer leurs enfants ici fréquenter l'école adventiste de Doqui, de Plateau d'Oqui.
Having an Adventist education here, we have a lot of parents here, we have a lot of children here, so it will be a great opportunity to attract those people, and through education we can expand the gospel to them.
In Yopougon Niangan, also a neighborhood in the greater Abidjan area, another congregation is gearing up to share their property with students. The Niangan Church, as it is called, was established by a small group of Adventists in the early 1980s. They rented a small shop, filling the space and attracting the attention of everyone in the neighborhood. The church grew and purchased a cassava field to build a church. Today, there are 169 members. It's a number that they want to grow.
Yopougon, generally speaking, is the largest and the most populated suburb of Abidjan. It carries over 1.5 million inhabitants. So it is a really populated place. But still, we have not grown as we should. With a school, we will grow faster. People will know more the church.
The plan is to have Maranatha build a secondary school, grades 6 through 12, right on the property. Baka says that while the neighborhood already has plenty of primary schools, there are few options for secondary students. A new Adventist high school will provide for an urgent need while introducing people to the gospel. For the Adventist Church in Côte d'Ivoire, schools have opened the door to new communities and hearts, providing a welcoming space where children and young people can be educated and learn about the love of Jesus. Yet once they hear the gospel and want to know more, where will this group of believers go to church? When we come back, we'll take a look at the need for churches in Côte d'Ivoire. From cocoa beans to palm oil to cashews, Côte d'Ivoire's agricultural might has made the country one of the most economically stable in West Africa. This success is obvious when visiting Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire's economic capital. Metropolitan, vast, and expanding, Abidjan is evidence of a country on the rise. However, a drive to the city's borders are where the high-rises stop, and modernity is a rumor of the future.
If you go through the street, you will see everybody selling. Sometimes I even joke, oh, who is buying? Because everybody's selling. So there is, in the informal economy, you see ladies selling foods, and sometimes there's 3 or 4 kilos of tomatoes, and if they are able to sell it, they can feed their families. So the main economy is informal one. I think more or less 45 to 50% of people in Côte d'Ivoire, they live with around $1 a day. So that is what we call people on the edge of poverty.
It is in some of these areas where Maranatha has committed to build churches for congregations struggling to find or build a home of their own. People are meeting in homes, patios, classrooms, or under trees. The lack of proper worship space has created some prejudice toward the Adventist Church in Côte d'Ivoire.
If your church is under trees, it is under kind of simple roof, and you invite people from other denominations or other beliefs to come in, attend in your church, and they see that small, church under trees or under a small or very simple structure, they will say, what kind of God is that one?
The issue of space has definitely been a hurdle at the Abbé Brocquois Adventist Church. This church started in 2008 following some Bible studies and meetings. Initially, there were 27 members, but when the pastor fell ill, the congregation dwindled to almost nothing.
C'est là qu'on m'a fait appel. Quand je suis arrivé, j'ai trouvé 4 personnes. Mon épouse, moi-même, et puis 2 autres membres. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Alors, j'ai procédé par des contacts personnels, de porte à porte. Donc, je rentre dans le quartier, dans les maisons, et je fais des études bibliques.
After more than a decade, Camillan, a church leader at Abbé Brocquois, is still attending and still sharing the gospel. He helped to grow the membership back up to 30, and even today they have baptized new people into the church. But faster growth has been difficult because of the odd meeting space. This structure, which was started back in 2008, has never been finished because of the lack of funds.
Puisque l'Église, dans son état actuel, ce préau ne peut pas appeler les gens. Ceux qu'on pourrait inviter ne peuvent pas venir parce que quand ils voient l'État, ils voient les autres églises qui sont bien bâties, et puis bon, ils voient ici, mais ça c'est de l'amusement. Ce n'est pas, même si on a la vérité, mais il y a aussi ce qui attire les gens qui comptent. Et c'est ça qui nous a motivés de mettre ça en prière pour qu'un jour Dieu intervienne pour nous, pour que nous ayons un temple digne du nom de Dieu.
South of Abebroquois, on the coastline of Côte d'Ivoire, there is a fishing community called Sisako Begnini. Each day, men and women are busy at work, pulling in their catch and preparing it for the marketplace. Here, there is a small Adventist group that started 30 years ago by meeting in homes.
Ce qui nous a poussé dans une maison pour adorer Dieu, c'est que au début, le village a refusé de nous donner un terrain pour construire même une église.
The village was suspicious of the Adventists and refused to sell them land to build a church or even bury their dead in the local cemetery. Eventually, the Adventists landed on the patio of a church member and worshipped there for 3 decades.
Prier Dieu dans le coin ou dans l'endroit où nous étions, la véranda là, c'était souvent humiliant. Humiliant parce que souvent, quand il pleut, on ne sait pas comment s'asseoir. Parce que ici, ce n'est pas couvert. Ici aussi n'est pas couvert. Donc souvent, quand l'eau vient comme cela, on est obligé de coincer les bancs là. Et puis, on est obligé de se coincer pour écouter le message. Et les gens dans le village même se moquaient de nous en disant que ce n'est pas une église. Et souvent, quand on invite même les gens à venir prier, les gens nous demandent, mais où est l'église là? On dit c'est ici. Et beaucoup disent dans le village que c'est parce que nous prions là-bas qu'ils ont honte même de venir nous trouver pour prier. Mais quand on aura une église, ils vont venir. Donc franchement dit, c'était humiliant. Nous avons supporté ça pendant toutes ces années. Ça n'a pas été facile.
Eventually, the Sisako Begnini congregation befriended a village chief and they obtained permission to purchase land. So, in February 2019, they built a church from simple materials. It wasn't perfect, but it was a definite improvement. Next year, in 2020, during the 100th anniversary of the Adventist Church in Côte d'Ivoire, Maranatha will be constructing a new church for Abebroquois and Sisako Begnini. It will be an answer to years of prayer for both congregations. What's more, Maranatha will also construct classrooms for some of these congregations to not only help grow the membership, but also provide an urgent need for schools in the community. These are just 2 of the many congregations that Maranatha will be helping in the next year as we launch our efforts in Côte d'Ivoire. Yet none of this work can be completed without your help. Each school classroom and sanctuary needs to be sponsored, and we need volunteers to join us on these projects and many more. This will be the first time Maranatha has worked in this country, and the impact of the churches, schools, and volunteers is likely to be significant.
We are so happy for Maranatha coming, giving us both schools and churches, because we know, giving us churches, many people who were feeling ashamed to worship, they say we have the truth, but they wonder why having the truth, this same God cannot give us means to build churches.
Adventist leadership are so convinced of Maranatha's impact that they are already looking at their church history from the perspective of before Maranatha and after Maranatha.
Voyez-vous, tout à l'heure, j'étais en train de vous dire que nous n'avons, après près de 100 ans de présence sur le territoire ivoirien, on a seulement 3 collèges, 6 écoles primaires et 2 maternelles, après 100 ans de présence. Si Maranatha vient nous aider, ça sera 100 ans.
Maranatha is going to change the whole image of evangelism in the church in Côte d'Ivoire.